So, Conor McGregor's running for president of Ireland.
I'm here today outside the office of the Taoiseach an Taoiseach, where we are over 200 days into the formation of current government. In these times, this government has cost us our peace of mind, our security, our hope for the future, and the general well-being of Irish citizens nationwide has decreased dramatically, whereby we have seen the homelessness of Irish children risen to levels unprecedented, proving this government's refusal to abide by and respect our proclamation, and where all children of Ireland are to be cherished. Instead, our children abandoned. This incompetent failure of future generations has been accompanied with an intense influx of mass migration into an already severed system. Our tourism has sharply declined, while danger on our streets has risen. Ireland, as a master of martial combat, a solution-driven man, you will hear me speak on a problem but once, then it is action towards solution. I urge all our citizens to be of the same. Today, Ireland, I am outside these gates of these appointed officials, but as your head of state, you empower me to enter these buildings on your behalf. A president face to face with government officials with only one priority: to ensure that the country our founding fathers gave their life for is strictly adhered to on behalf of its citizens. Ireland, under my tenure, the will of the people will be heard. Ireland, under my tenure, we will return important articles of our Constitution prior, and thus again aligning with Padraig Pearse's proclamation, in that we declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
All right, folks. So there you've got Conor McGregor making his announcement for a run as the. All right, folks. So there you have Conor McGregor making his announcement for a run at the presidency of Ireland. I don't really know what that office entails, but here from MSN.com, we've got an article. Conor McGregor's Irish presidential claims fall flat as all 31 councils in the country deny backing. Um, it goes on to say none of Ireland's 31 local councils have issued a nomination for any presidential candidate, despite Conor McGregor's claims that he has councils on board for a potential bid. All 31 local authorities across the island confirmed to the Irish Mirror that they did not conduct the special meetings required to issue such nominations, as this was not allowed until Tuesday's announcement setting the election date for October 24. 15 councils also verified that they have received no correspondence from McGregor, while the remaining councils declined to comment, reports the Irish Mirror. The news comes amid claims that McGregor is Ireland's shame after the UFC star launched a controversial petition. Last week, the Dublin native asserted he had obtained backing from local councils, TDs, and senators to pursue the heiress, the official residence of the Irish presidents. Presidential candidates must secure nominations from 20 Oireachtas, Irish Parliament members, or 4 of Ireland's 31 local councils. Posting on X, he declared, "I have it secured. I have councils on board. TDs, senators, I even have the most prestigious party of them all." Nevertheless, it is false that McGregor has obtained any nominations from Ireland's local councils. It goes on to explain essentially the nomination process here. And then the Irish Mirror reached out to all 31 councils to inquire if they had been contacted by McGregor for their endorsement for the presidency. 15 councils confirmed they hadn't, while 16 remained tight-lipped on whether McGregor had approached them. And that 16, I think, is the sticking point. Um, they would like to make the claim, or they are asserting that he completely lacks any sort of support and that he's falsifying information. And maybe he is. I don't know. But it is also very possible that he has been in contact with people within these councils in the backdoor sort of sense that politics are usually done. And it's very possible, if not likely, that he has secured essentially nominations, unannounced nominations from council members. I'm not saying that is in fact the case. I'm saying that it is very possible, especially when you consider the situation in Europe and the growing discontent of people all across Europe, Ireland, the UK, Poland, and even Germany now. Um, Europe has put up with this. Europeans, normal everyday Europeans, have been extraordinarily tolerant over the past decade or two, um, and really, actually, even beyond that. I just watched a terrible, terrible video about I don't even know how to say it, about gangs that target young girls in the UK. Um, and it's not hard to see why these people are on a knife's edge at this point. Anytime a European politician or even just a European citizen expresses any sort of nationalistic pride, it's become the norm in these countries to simply refer to them as xenophobic and more actually often the R word, if you know what I mean. Um, and it's just not working anymore, and it's not going to work anymore because people's patience and tolerance has been worn thin. They have been as generous as a people can be to a foreign people, and yet they have been taken advantage of and they have been terrorized, and the people seem to be rising up. And how that takes shape, I don't know. Not as if, like all of Ireland, the Irish people feel as if their national pride makes them a bad person.
But it looks like the police are trying to cause a scene. Look at that! Look what they're doing! Look what the police are doing! What are they doing?
Y'all seen this? More than likely than not, you have. It's been going viral across the internet. Um, People are tired of it. People are tired of being shamed for patriotism. And they're also tired of people from other cultures moving to their nations to take advantage of all that they have to offer while refusing to contribute anything back and, in fact, bringing the worst of their cultures with them. It's not a conspiracy that there are Pakistani gangs in the UK specifically targeting underage UK girls, English girls, white girls. That's their entire modus operandi. And they've been ignored by the police, by the government, by social services for decades at this point. And the people aren't going to tolerate it anymore. The people of Europe are done. And it's really nobody's fault except the immigrants that bring customs that are utterly antithetical to Western values. And these fools, these idiots that believe themselves to be so liberal and accepting, that try and shame others for simply stating the obvious, don't seem to understand that if they were to, if they were to take a trip or move, God forbid, to one of these Middle Eastern countries, their life would be fundamentally different. Not only because of the amenities that they may lack that we have, but also simply the way that they could conduct themselves in a day to day manner. The way that we dress, the way that Western women dress. What do you think would happen over there? Actually, we know exactly what would happen because now that they're in the UK, they're doing it to British girls, young, underage British girls in many, many instances. These Pakistani immigrants just treat them like a commodity or worse, just something to be taken off the streets. But to point that out, and you get called every name under the sun that could be used to shame someone. They're protecting predators. while calling the people that want to defend the victims monsters, xenophobes, racists. It's insane. Completely insane.
It's just amazing. I can see them everywhere. They're just popping up everywhere. Must be 10 or 11 so far, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know, it makes me such a proud Irishman to see all of these flags everywhere. You know, it's just incredible the way the people of the inner city have all come together and just got behind all these flags and put them up. You know, it's just incredible. It just makes me feel so proud, you know, especially after stabbing this morning in Westmoreland Street and a lot of trouble in Fairview Park over the weekend. I just think we need to come out and show our loyalty. Remember, people have died for us all the way back to Wolftown, and before that again. So people have died for that flag, people have died for your generation, and I think the least we can do is get out and put our flags up and start flying the flag. And over there on the left it says defender with a flag. Well, let's defend our country once and for all. Another one on the right, that's about 16 or 17. Another one on the left there, up there. And on the right, this is just, oh my God, my heart. I'm just so proud of these flags. More on the left than on the right, and we're not even at the fire station. And there's another one up there in the corner, and one on the right. No, I'm not taking the photograph, the video, I am actually driving the car. So here we come to the pub, Ansley House, and we have them everywhere. And there's another couple down to the left, there's another couple to the right. So we must have about 25 so far. So in about 200 metres time we're going to hit Ansley Bridge Road. Don't know if you can see all them flags. We must have about 30 to 35 flags up altogether. Absolutely amazing. And I read an email there somewhere that the council are thinking to take them down. Well, I think we should have somebody out watching these 24/7. I mean, people have died for these flags. And it says we should take back our country, take back our flag, and not be ashamed of anything. So once again, we have another one on the right, on the left, on the right of the fire station, two more on the left, and another one at the right of the fire station. Just makes me so proud. So here we are coming to up to Fairview Park. On this corner alone, I know for a fact there is 4 flags in total.
Yeah, so there you have it. Irish flags absolutely just flanking the streets of North Dublin. And, who knows, probably, I would imagine much more in more rural communities, as the more rural you get, the more right you tend to lean. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if McGregor, in fact, has at least those 4 councils that he needs to secure a nomination for the presidency of Ireland. And, this is to be expected. This is the natural reaction to the overflow of illegal immigrants or migrants or even refugees that refuse to adhere to the cultural norms, practices, ethics, and laws of their host nation. Those that take advantage of the generosity of these host nations and then demand that the native peoples of those lands adhere to customs that they brought from their foreign nation that they had to flee. This was to be expected. And it's just the pendulum as it swings. Time is a pendulum. And here we are going back the other way. The left can't blame anybody but itself for this reaction. And I wouldn't be so quick to count McGregor out, considering the rising nationalistic and patriotic sentiments across the Western world. That's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys are having a great day. Like, comment, share, subscribe. What do you think about McGregor's presidential run? Let me know in the comments. Later, Gators.